presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Southeast.
The Atlanta Braves offense is riding high, and tonight they will meet a big challenge with Noah Syndergaard, Curtis Granderson, and the high-flying New York Mets, who right now lead the National League wildcard race. The Braves will try to play the role of the spoiler as we open up a three-game set tonight here at Citi Field. Chip and Joe, hi again, friends. Let's see what the Braves have in store. It's a different-looking Braves team than maybe the Mets are accustomed to. The Braves' bats are booming, and it starts in the middle of the order for Atlanta. Freddie Freeman, a notorious Mets killer, is red hot once again.
And don't forget, the Braves swept the Mets here the last time they were here. So if Noah Syndergaard is going to continue his hot ways, he's going to have to deal with some hot bats, and it starts with Freddie Freeman. He's on fire. He's hit in 22 straight games. That's a career high for him. He's reached in 1 million straight games. That's also, I think, a world record. Not sure about that, but he has been swinging the bat well, and he tears up the Mets. This season, there is overall numbers. Last 5 years against the Mets, they're great. But at Citi Field, the highest average in Major League Baseball, 341 mark here. He loves hitting in this ballpark.
For much of this season, Joe, it's been a one-man offensive attack for the Braves, especially against Eastern foes. You can't say that now with Matt Kemp hitting behind Freddie Freeman.
Well, and we've talked about what Matt has meant to the lineup and to all the other guys in the lineup. Well, what about what he's done here at Citi Field? A 345 mark and overall a 322 career average against the Mets. He too loves hitting in this ballpark. This should be a good 1-2 combination, batting third and fourth for Atlanta.
You know, we love old adages in baseball. The oldest one is that good pitching gets out good hitting. Well, right now the Braves are going to see the last man standing in rotation, or arguably their best, Noah Syndergaard tonight.
And he may be arguably the hottest pitcher in baseball right now. Noah Syndergaard has been on fire. You know he throws hard, but take a look at these breaking balls. This is the key to his success. If he's getting these breaking balls over, he's going to be mighty tough to beat because he throws 98 miles an hour on average. These are some good hooks, some good sliders. He's outstanding. His last 6 games, 4-1 with a 1.36 ERA, looking for his 14th win overall in the season.
And Paul Burt coming off a double-digit strikeout performance last time out. Clearly the Mets are injury ravaged, but don't tell that to Noah Syndergaard tonight.
You got it, Chip. And I got to tell you, everybody talks about his 100-mile-an-hour fastball. Well, he throws 95, 96 pitches of that, can run it up to 100 when he needs to. I want to talk about his breaking ball. He has a really good slider that has curveball action. Yeah, that sounds crazy, but he stays on side of the baseball, powering through it, getting on top. It goes straight down with the slider grip coming in hot. So I got to tell you guys, it's really hard to sit for 100 miles an hour and then swing at a pitch that falls off at a table that you think is a fastball, and then it's really hard to guess breaking ball and then catch up to 100. So everybody looking for mistakes tonight, and yeah, there's one thing he doesn't do well, that's hold on runners. So we'll see. Chip, back to you.
All right, Paul, thank you very much. The Braves offense is hot. The Mets team is hot. Something's got to give tonight. It's game 1. Braves and Mets baseball on a beautiful night in the Big Apple. Lineups and first pitch coming up right after this.
Sponsored by Delta Airlines, your local Ford dealer, and Xfinity. X1 from Xfinity will change the way you experience sports. Sports and outdoors. Right stuff, low price, every day.
An orange and blue colored sunset tonight in New York. Another sign perhaps for the Mets that everything is going their way. Joe, you look at what's happened to Terry Collins' club over the last week. It's hard to argue that that's not the case.
They are playing great baseball, but what's interesting here, they've gone 4-1 while only averaging 2.6 runs per game. We showed you some numbers earlier tonight where over the last 27 their offensive output has really gotten better. Well, it's fallen off a little bit in the last 5, but when you're getting an ERA from your starters of 0.92, bingo, you don't have to score a ton of runs. So it's been all about their pitching from start to finish. It's just when their offense does click a little bit, they are tough to beat.
You know Harvey's not here. You know DeGrom is hurt. You know Steven Matz is hurting. You also know you've got your hands full when Noah Syndergaard takes them out, and that's who the Braves oppose in Game 1 of the series. And he, like his Mets team, also on a red-hot streak.
Well, I was asking some of the Mets folks, is Syndergaard pitching better than he has all year? And they said it'd be hard to argue any other stretch all year where he's pitched better. And these last 6 starts bear that out. But as Paul pointed out, if there's one little glitch on his resume that you want to try and take advantage of, he does not hold runners well. If Inciarte can get on base, Garcia, Swanson, Jace Peterson, they can run. And I know Rivera has a great arm and he throws out a lot of runners, but it doesn't matter if you get a good jump on the pitcher.
And as we've said so often over this last month and a half, the top 5 hitters for the Braves come into this game tonight, all of them swinging the bat exceptionally well. And it will start with Ender Inciarte. Freddie Freeman, Matt Kemp, both Mets killers. Nick Markakis has been so good with 2 outs. He's riding a 10-game hitting streak. So this should be a very fun and interesting matchup. A good hitting ball club riding a hot streak facing Noah Syndergaard for New York in Game 1.
And Syndergaard has not pitched against the Braves this year. 2 starts last year, no record, of .327 ERA.
So the man they call Ford turns it loose in his first pitch, missed at 98 miles an hour. A 73-degree evening. And that missed low at 98. 2 balls, no strikes. Inciarte, 88 hits for the Braves since the All-Star break. And he's got a hit in 52 of his last 56 games. That slapped out of play, and that extended run of success for Ender Inciarte as our Zaxby's indescribably good play.
This is one of those things that you just can't even really register. 52 out of 56 games, really incredible, and that's resulted in some big numbers for him.
And there's that power breaking ball that Paul was talking about. Inciarte swung over the top, and he's down on strikes here in the top of the first.
Struck out 10 in his last outing against Washington. Got a no decision. 7 innings, 4 hits, 1 run. He only walked 1 in those 7 innings, and typically doesn't walk a ton of guys. Only 40 all year in 174 innings.
A strike at 100 miles an hour to Adonis Garcia. Late arriving crowd on what has been a rainy, misty day here in New York. Not too many big league hitters are going to hit that pitch at that velocity. Down and away at 99, and just inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, he's a big dude. 6'6", 240 out of Mansfield, Texas. 24 years old.
Swing and a miss. Garcia down on strikes. And here's Freddie Freeman.
He was a #1 pick, supplemental #1 pick by Toronto. And the Mets got him in a trade. Not a bad trade.
Yeah.
It turned out.
So here's the marquee matchup. Freddie Freeman versus Syndergaard. And a bouncing ball on a broken bat to second. Rivera's got it. And Syndergaard has a 10-pitch first inning with a pair of strikeouts. Aaron Blair goes to work. No score after a half inning. Tonight he's making his 4th start against the New York Mets.
And you see that a lot of Aaron's problems come in slow starts. And opponents a .333 average, 10 walks in the first inning. He's going to need to avoid that tonight. And his 4 keys to the pitching success tonight. We're going to look at a wind-up adjustment that he and Roger McDowell have worked on. I'll tell you more about that as we go along. and some early run support. I know it's going to be tough against Syndergaard, but that would go a long way toward helping Aaron relax a little bit.
And he'll have to face Jose Reyes leading off. Reyes is the Mets' third baseman now. And the home crowd serenades him with the Jose Jose song as he leads off the home first. And Blair got ahead with a 90-mile-an-hour fastball for a moment. 1 ball, 1 strike.
One of the things that Aaron has done all year long in his windup is he has a hip turn and shoulder turn that almost turns his back to home plate, and that has in some ways contributed to some command problems, some ineffectiveness, because his arm slot, it's hard to keep the same arm slot. So what he and Roger have worked out is something where he just picks up his left leg, doesn't twist and turn, just straight up and then to the plate.
And a very effective start for Blair. He strikes out the Mets leadoff man, Jose Reyes.
So take a look here. This is tonight, straight up, basically above his back foot. Drives to the plate, eyes on the target. Excellent start tonight. Good changeup.
The Mets shortstop is Asdrubal Cabrera. Easy for me to say. August 19th might be the red letter day for the Mets. They got Reyes back, they got Cabrera back, they got Cespedes back, and the Mets took off offensively. Cabrera's got 7 homers, 16 RBIs, and has scored 17 runs since August 19th.
Yeah, and I know a lot of credit has been given to Cespedes and his numbers over that stretch, but this guy, the numbers you just read off, a huge part of their success, going 20-7 the last 27.
They had a note in their press notes today that I just couldn't believe. Asdrubal Cabrera has been a good major league hitter for a long time, but we know the Mets team as a whole has had trouble hitting with runners in scoring position this year. That's been an Achilles heel for them. There's the 2-1 pitch. At one point, Asdrubal Cabrera was 0 for 32 with a man at second base or third base.
No kidding.
0 for 32. He's turned that around, as has Cespedes and Curtis Granderson, who's been thriving in the cleanup spot. And Cabrera walks on 5 pitches, and here comes Cespedes with a man aboard and 1 out. That has been a problem for Blair too. That's 30 walks, 33 strikeouts in 55 innings.
Yeah, but going back to his command issues, he's got a sinker and a real good changeup to go with his slider. But in the past, I always felt like in his previous 12 starts that sinker was missing off the plate where the hitters weren't offering, because he wasn't able to find the right arm slot on a, like I said, on a consistent basis. Hopefully that will change tonight. Ground ball right here would be just the ticket.
Cespedes has seen Blair before. He saw him in mid-June. And Cespedes hit one of his 30 home runs against the Braves right-hander. Cabrera's got a decent lead at first. He doesn't run a lot. He does have 4 steals though, and Cespedes didn't get it.
Good fastball up and in on him. Aaron pitched well at Gwinnett his last couple of outings in the playoffs. So it could be with getting some extra work with this windup, got him ready for this.
He's way ahead of Yoenis Cespedes. And that's hooked into the Braves dugout. That's going to rattle around. Everybody all right?
But almost picked off Chase Darno.
Swing and a miss. Cespedes chased one up and out of the strike zone. And Blair has matched Syndergaard with his second first-inning strikeout.
I like the fact that he went back upstairs. High target from Tyler. Smart idea. Got him to swing at one up and in. Got him to swing at one there out of the zone. But you know what that says, or what it showed me, is that he hit the target.
Yep. And now he's an out away from sending us to the second, with Curtis Granderson coming up. And Granderson launches one out of play, foul. Granderson had a remarkable game a couple of days ago against the Twins. Both of his homers came in extra innings. His third multi-homer game of the year. As that one just missed. He's the first Met to hit a pair of homers in extra innings in the history of the Mets ball club. An 11th inning homer tied it. A walk-off homer won it in the 12th. As the Mets took care of the Twins. Broken bat popped toward left. Matt Kemp is there. And Aaron Blair is back in the show with a very nice, efficient bottom of the first inning. We head to the second. Matt Kemp leads off, no score. A hot hitter for Atlanta, as you see on our Georgia Lottery hitting the jackpot.
380 in his last 17 games, and great numbers in his last 60 against the Mets. We told you about his career numbers here in this ballpark. Loves hitting here. And oh, by the way, he and Nick Markakis hitting behind him, both working on 10-game hitting streaks.
That'll be put to the test tonight with Syndergaard, as will the Braves' team run of 18 consecutive games of 8 or more hits.
That's phenomenal.
Syndergaard got him 1-2-3 in the first. We'll see how Kemp, Markakis, and Tyler Flowers do here in the second. First pitch, fly ball center. Curtis Granderson will give way in right field to Michael Conforto. And Kemp jumps on the first pitch and flies out. One man down. I would understand that strategy too. I don't think anybody wants to get to 2 strikes against this guy.
No, and if you look at his batting average against him, typically 0-0 counts, about the best time to get after him.
Nick Markakis, the batter, has hit a couple of home runs against the Mets this year, and 14 hits in his last 10 games played. Downstairs, 1 ball, no strikes. Nick's a .306 hitter against the Mets this year, .272 overall, and 86 RBIs this season.
Another guy with a 90-mile-an-hour changeup. Saw earlier tonight already, first inning, 100 miles an hour, 99 miles an hour from the starter. His average fastball velocity, the best in the major leagues, averaging 98.
2-2. And Nick was all over that one at 99 and fouled it straight back. Make him work. Nick is doing just that. Tell you what, he is really working that down and away corner to the lefties and the righties tonight. He has not made many pitches in the center of the plate yet.
No, and he hasn't really gone in on anybody.
That's driven foul, and a fan from Yonkers will come up with that souvenir.
His batting average against him, while good, isn't microscopic. It's 238 overall, but left-handers are hitting just a notch below 250 against him.
Off the pitcher's glove, Rivera, nice play, scrambles to his feet but couldn't unload, and an infield hit for Nick Markakis comes with one out.
Brushed Syndergaard's glove on the way by to slow it down, but as you said, Rivera couldn't get a grip on it apparently. Yeah, he couldn't get it in his fingers. Boy, Rivera has opened some eyes here. He was the PCL batting champ. He's gotten off to a great big league start, and that's why he's in there tonight.
And he's replacing another injured Met. Neil Walker is out with back surgery. So Markakis with an infield hit extends his hitting streak to 11 straight. Tyler Flowers is up with a man aboard, one out. And first time Syndergaard has pitched out of the stretch.
And really there's not that much difference between his stretch and his windup. It looks kind of the same.
Tyler's riding a 5-game hitting streak, 6 hits during that run. And that missed for ball 2. Six, 7 weeks ago, there were rumblings that Terry Collins might be out of a job. Funny how you don't hear that anymore. As well as the Mets have played, they're healthy and they lead the wild card race. The pitch. 2-1.
Look at that quadrant of pitches. Chip down and away to right-handers, and the slider right at that bottom corner. Velocity and command.
Tyler in the driver's seat. Jace Peterson waits on deck. And that's outside. 2 on, 1 out. An infield hit and a walk. Maybe the long at bat by Markakis bothered Syndergaard a touch. Let's see if Jace Peterson can take advantage.
Maybe the stretch too, even though there's not a great deal of difference. Maybe that bothered him some. Jace is coming to town, swinging the bat real well.
He's got a 5-game hit streak. And he's batting .262 for the year. Syndergaard threw 10 pitches in the first inning. He's just thrown his 16th here in the second, and he has only 1 out. Barely missed, but Fox Track showed it was off the plate. 2-0.
Good patience. You know, you get a 2-0 count from a guy like Syndergaard. You're sitting on that fastball and you're thinking, okay, this will be my chance. And you have a tendency to overswing or maybe even chase one out of the zone like that pitch was. Jace laid off.
All bets are off now. 3-1. Markakis the runner at second. Tyler Flowers at first. And the bases are loaded with 1 out. An infield hit and back-to-back walks. And out of the dugout pops Dan Warthen, the Mets pitching coach.
I don't get the opportunity to see Syndergaard make every start. We haven't seen him pitch all year live. But that baffled me right there. He's already walked one guy and he's behind 3-1, and he's not getting a called strike with that breaking pitch. He throws 98 miles an hour. Why are you calling for a breaking ball 3-1 when he's in trouble? He's thrown a lot of breaking pitches, in my opinion, here in the first inning and a half.
He got Inciarte and Garcia to swing and miss on that pitch in the first inning. But not much luck with it here in the second. So here's a big spot for Dansby Swanson. Dansby hitting .289, a couple of homers, 11 RBIs. Let's see if he can put it in play. Dansby in his first look at the Mets back in Atlanta had a good series. He was 5 for 9 against them. In fact, he had his first big league 3-hit game on September 9th against New York.
Back to fastballs. He got a swing and then he missed with 100.
Hot shot, base hit right field. Markakis scores. Flowers will stop at third, and Dansby Swanson comes through with a terrific approach. An opposite field single gives Atlanta a 1-0 lead. Another Mets killer in the Atlanta lineup, Dansby Swanson.
And he did what he does so often, and that is take his one big swing on the first pitch he saw, and after that go back to his program of trying to hit the ball where it's pitched. Picked up his 12th RBI and gives the Braves the lead.
And he's now 6 out of 10 against Mets pitching this year. 1-0 for Aaron Blair, who bats with the bases loaded. Good stop. Again, you got the pitcher up there.
I know. I'm not sure. Like I said, it's hard to say why is he doing that, because I don't see the way he works every night, but it seems like he's getting away from his strength.
Popped up. Rivera is going to drift back. That's an infield fly. Blair put it in play.
It's okay.
And the inning's still alive.
It's okay because it wasn't a double play. And Inciarte will get a chance.
.26 pitches in the inning. And now Ender is up, who struck out his first time up.
Ender's usually aggressive in these situations early in the count.
Braves as a team hit .254 with runners in scoring position this year. Inciarte surprisingly .184. And it's fouled away. Even count. All of a sudden, a handful of changeups for Ender Inciarte in this sequence.
Well, the changeup's been a better pitch for him tonight than the breaking pitch so far.
Hot shot, base hit left field. Flowers scores. Peterson will stop at third. And Ender Inciarte with a 2-strike hit makes it 2-0 here in the second inning.
Again, it's all about approach, and what you're willing to concede when you get behind in the count. He got that foot down quickly. That looked like another breaking ball, Chip, and a hanger. And with Cespedes and his great arm, got to hold that runner even with Jace's good speed. Cespedes was shallow, and he's got a chance to throw him out if he's going to try to score.
So the Braves strike for 2 in the second. Here's Garcia. And that skipped up there. 1 ball, no strikes. As electric as Syndergaard looked in the first inning, he's gone 180 degrees here in the second. There's already somebody playing catch in the Mets bullpen.
Yeah, left-hander.
That's Sean Gilmart. A 32 pitch second so far. 2 in, 2 outs. And ball 2 for Adonis Garcia.
Here are some of his recent starts dating back to August 16th. 5 2/3, 8, 7, 7, 5, and 7. That most recent 5-inning stint in Cincinnati, he shut him out over 5 innings and won the game handily, so he came out after 5. But he hasn't had any real short knockout starts in a long time.
Got a break there. That pitch wasn't a strike. And now Syndergaard back in the count at 2-2.
34 pitch innings so far.
Fly ball right. Conforto near the line is there. And the side is retired. Braves had a good approach. Couple of opposite field run scoring hits. Puts the Braves in front. 2-0. Career, Dansby Swanson sat out against a lot of the hard-throwing right-handers in the National League. That's not the case anymore. He's played against Scherzer. Now he's playing against Noah Syndergaard tonight. And Joey's already paid dividends with an opposite field run scoring hit.
Yeah, I love to see what he does. It's a very consistent approach. He's willing to take his shot early in the count. And if he falls behind, he's willing to take his medicine and shorten up and go the other way. And it got him an RBI tonight. More importantly, gave Aaron Blair a quick lead.
Blair struck out a pair in the first inning. He's got TJ Rivera leading off. And that's off the plate, ball one. Joe mentioned Rivera won the PCL batting title. He hit .353. Well, he's almost matched that in the big leagues with a small sample size and a .344 mark. And much like last year, if you can hit, the Mets will find a place for you to play. They were searching far and wide for offense. And just like that, it's 3-0.
Long half inning for Aaron to sit, but that's okay. Got a couple of runs to work with. Aaron's a great kid. He's like the other young Braves starters. They're very likable, and you pull for him. You want him to do well. With all of his struggles this year, I know it's been hard on him, but you just want him so much to do well, and especially when you haven't gotten a win yet, pick up that W and see if you can kind of jumpstart things.
Check swing. Rivera's still alive. Full count. Well, tonight Aaron's making his 13th big league start, his 4th of those 13 against the Mets.
That's crazy.
Against whom he debuted April 24th, gave up 3 runs in 5 1/3 innings. And back out of play. Still a full count.
You know, we had that great program on youth baseball, travel baseball, etc., and the need for parents to get their young players seen by scouts and what have you. Here's a guy at the plate who did not get drafted in 40 or 50 rounds, whatever it is in the Major League draft. Did not get drafted.
Popped up. Markakis in shallow right.
He went to a junior college, played for former major leaguer Mackey Sasser in junior college, did not get drafted, and signed as an undrafted free agent. Hit 300 at just about every level of the Mets system. I mean, they were probably looking at him like, yeah, well, okay, hit 300, but he probably won't at the next level, and he did. And he just kept working his way up till he wins the PCL batting title, and they called him up, and here he is tearing it up here.
Bottom line, if you're good enough, someone will find you.
Someone will see you.
Blair got the leadoff man. Here's Michael Conforto. Conforto had a terrific season last year at the big league level. Really helped the Mets with a .270 mark in 56 games, including 9 homers. They were hoping for similar production this year. Didn't get it. And because they were looking for offense in the corner outfield spots, they had to go out and trade for Jay Bruce, who has not done much with the Mets either. So Conforto, who had a couple of hits against the Twins last time out, gets a chance to play in Game 1 tonight as well.
I think they're just trying to find some magic again in his bat, and for him to be 2 for his last 5, I think it is. Yeah, it's like, okay, maybe that's a sign that he's beginning to find it again, because last year in the postseason he was lights out.
Popped up. Dansby Swanson in the shift, drifts out to shallow center, and he makes the play. Conforto's retired. 2 up and 2 down. And here's James Loney. Loney getting the start tonight. The Mets welcome Lucas Duda back yesterday. Duda played against the Twins, went 0 for 2, his first game action since May the 20th. But Loney has great numbers against Blair, so he gets a chance to play tonight, as well as the Mets want to be cautious with Duda coming back from a stress fracture in his back.
Yeah, they activated Lagares too, the center fielder, so he's available.
Loney 4 for 4 against Aaron with a home run. Broke his bat, and at second, Jace has it. Double clutches, but makes the play, and Aaron Blair has a shutdown inning, a 1-2-3 second, and he enjoys an early 2-0 lead. Syndergaard needed 35 pitches to get 3 outs, and he's quickly back to work after Aaron Blair got the Mets in order in the home half of the second as well. Freeman, Kemp, and Markakis, the trio coming up. Let's see, Joe, if the Braves can add on with a red-hot hitter on our Academy Sports leaderboard.
Yeah, since 2013, nobody has hit as well at Citi Field as Freddie Freeman with a minimum of 125 plate appearances, and he's got a nice cushion over Anthony Rendon, who plays here a lot, as you know. Cespedes a 274 mark since he joined the club.
I tried to talk Freddie into naming Charlie City, but he wasn't buying it.
I love his baby's name. I think it's great. He is Frederick Charles Freeman II. They're going to call him Charlie, and I love it. Charlie Freeman is a great name.
Talk about a young man that is grinning from ear to ear when he talks about his newborn son.
Yeah.
Freddie and Anthony Recker, both proud new parents. One ball, one strike. There's a rare pitch inside. As was that, and Freeman fought it off.
When you throw as hard as this guy does and you establish that inside, you pretty much own the plate. You can do anything you want to do because everybody's got to respect the fact that you're going to run the ball in on them.
Fly ball well hit toward left. Cespedes will turn. That ball is long gone. An opposite field home run for Freddie Freeman.
.98, is that what that fastball was? On a 3-2 count. Freddie was ready. And Citi Field pays again. Set up away, fastballs away, where Freddie likes it away. Extension. Jump. Only the 11th homer Syndergaard is allowed.
31 and 81 for Freeman. That extends his hitting streak to 23 straight games. And another extra base hit.
Oh boy.
Braves first baseman.
Syndergaard got some help there.
That's terrible.
So the crowd in New York stunned. Three runs on 4 hits. And for the Mets fans who maybe have not followed the Braves, this is not the same offense that they may have seen in the first 3.5 months of this season.
And for Freddie, 23 game hitting streak, 39 straight where he's reached. Both high water marks for him in his career and very impressive.
Can't bounce that off his foot. So Freddie Freeman's first homer as a new dad comes in New York, leading off the 3rd inning. Kemp down on strikes. That's the 3rd for Syndergaard. And 1 man down. Won't know till after the game, but it might have been Nick Markakis' 2nd inning at bat that changed the entire tenor of this game for Syndergaard. He really had to work hard. Nick fouled off a couple of pitches and then hit a shot off the pitcher's glove that Rivera fielded cleanly but couldn't throw cleanly. Infield hit, 2 walks and a single later. It was 1-0 Atlanta, and Syndergaard piled up 35 2nd inning pitches.
I don't care where you've been playing or how well you've been playing, as in the case with the Mets. When you run into a team that's as hot offensively as the Braves, despite their record, they're dangerous. And it's because there's not one or two guys that you can kind of pitch around. Up and down the lineup for Atlanta, everybody is swinging the bat well. First RBI came from the 8-hole hitter. Second RBI came from the leadoff hitter.
And you've got 6 guys in this lineup that have a hitting streak of 5 games or more.
Yeah.
I mean, there are no weak spots right now. It's Markakis back at it again. An 8-pitch at bat his first time around.
Take a look. Since August 30th, first in the majors in average on base and hits, and second in doubles and OPS. That's great stuff. And it's because it's been a team-wide effort.
And if you had said to anyone that travels with this club in late May if that graphic would have been possible at any point this year, you would have said no chance. Foul away.
I think it also exemplifies what one person can do to your lineup to make it whole, you know, from top to bottom, and make it fit right, like the addition of Matt Kemp has. Nick led off, and that stretch you're talking about early in the year, he was leading off because he was the only guy really swinging the bat, and the Braves needed him to get on base. And while he's good at that, the thing he contributes most is hitting runners in scoring position.
And just flat out hitting.
Yeah.
Opposite field single for Markakis. And Syndergaard keeps piling up the pitches to the Braves right fielder, who's 2 for 2.
You hear scouts talk about it all the time, about what that guy or this guy is a professional hitter, and that's what Nick is. Not a bad pitch.
So an 8-pitch at bat in the second inning, a 9-pitch at bat here in the third for Markakis. And he's aboard with 1 in, 1 out. Tyler Flowers, the batter, he walked and scored. And takes a knee-high strike. Keep adding on. Syndergaard has had to work hard. 5 3-ball counts. And this is the time of year where if you're ineffective, the manager may get you early. Again, Gil Martin is up and throwing.
Well, let's face it, they've lost so many guys already. With where they've put themselves at the top of the wild card list, they can ill afford any setbacks for this guy. And he's got a bone spur in his elbow that he's pitching with, but they deal with, and he deals with, and they don't want that thing blowing up.
Syndergaard has yet to hit in the game. He's due second when the Mets come up in the third. One ball, 2 strikes. Didn't get the call.
Yeah, that was a good pitch, but he's scuffling. And no matter how good you are, you're not going to get that borderline call every time if you're not throwing enough strikes. I thought he got a gift to start the at bat for Kemp on a breaking ball that was low.
Still 2-2. Tell you what the Braves have done to Syndergaard tonight. The Mets have allowed 5 runs in their last 38 innings pitched. Atlanta's gotten 3 off Syndergaard and 2 1/3 so far. And a generous strike 3 call takes care of Flowers. 4 out number 2.
Well, he gave that pitch back to him on that call.
Here's Jace Peterson. Jace walked in the second, had loaded the bases. And that's the 27th pitch Syndergaard's thrown in this inning.
Man, that's a lot of work. He's really lucky that right now it's only 3-0. Left the bases loaded last inning.
The 0-2 pitch is bounced to Rivera at second. He's got it, and that'll retire the side. Freddie Freeman is a proud papa. This is some pop. He does it again in New York. An opposite field homer, his 31st of the year. That extends the Atlanta lead. It's 3-0 behind Aaron Blair against Thor Noah Syndergaard. Three runs to play with. Atlanta with 5 hits already against Noah Syndergaard, and Aaron's got the 8, 9, and 1 hitters coming up here in the third. Freeman a home run a moment ago, and now Rene Rivera the batter, and a strike. Got good life on his fastball tonight. He's touched 92 a couple of times.
Yeah, which indicates to me that he didn't need that big hip turn to generate any more velocity. He's got plenty.
Little dribbler off the end of the bat. Catcher running, plenty of time. 1 out. And Syndergaard will hit for himself.
All right, we dug up some video from his start August 28th at San Francisco. So let's look at the hip turn on the left and see if you see his number when he turns. See how that big, he almost collects himself with that big leg kick and turn. Here it is on the right tonight, and it's pretty much just straight up and straight down to the plate. Show that again because I want you to look at the.
Syndergaard drives one to deep center, but not deep enough. It's 408 feet straightaway center. Well struck, but 2 out.
Syndergaard, a good hitter. He put a charge in that. Let's go back to San Francisco though, and watch the hips and shoulders. Watch the shoulders especially. He's aiming at the third base dugout there. He's not doing that with his shoulders tonight. He's just going straight up and straight down. And again, I contend that, and in talking to Roger too, that there is a difficulty in maintaining an arm slot when you have that kind of turn and maintaining it on a consistent basis. Tonight it's a lot simpler than what you saw in San Francisco and earlier this season.
He struck out Jose Reyes to start tonight's game, and he's ahead 0-2 here.
Last pitch in the delivery tonight. You can see the 3 on his jersey, but you can't see both numbers. And so far, so good.
Is that enough of a change to throw off the hitters for the Mets who've seen Blair a lot?
I don't think so. I mean, they have come to know what to expect from him and how he pitches them. But I think it's just control. And as Roger said to me, he said it's awfully difficult, I mean, for a hitter or a pitcher to make any kind of major adjustment in the middle of the season. Of course, we're well past the middle of the season, but you get my point. During this part of the season, if it were spring training or going into spring training, that'd be a different story.
Two outs, Mets third, trailing 3-0. Reyes shoots one down the left field line. And stays alive at 2-2. Slapped into center. Inciarte got an excellent jump, and it's another 3 up, 3 down for Aaron Blair. He's retired 8 in a row. We move to the 4th. It's 3-0 Atlanta in game 1. Seats in a modern cantilever design, SunTrust Park will offer maximized sight lines and the ability for fans to sit closer to the action than any other ballpark in baseball. More than 10,000 fans have already secured their season tickets, and areas of the ballpark are already sold out. Don't delay. Get your SunTrust Park season tickets today by visiting Braves.com/SunTrustPark. Well, the Braves have done a number on Noah Syndergaard here in the first 3 innings. 2 long at bats by Nick Markakis has taken some starch out of him. Braves got 2 in the second, 1 in the third on a Freeman homer. Dansby Swanson drove home the game's first run with an opposite field hit past James Loney, and he's the man leading off the 4th.
One of the best pitches he's thrown tonight.
And he backed it up. 1-2. Lined into center. That's going to get down in front of Curtis Granderson. Dansby Swanson with another 2-strike hit.
He had him set up perfectly, really, with 2 good breaking balls for strikes. And then the 98 heater, I don't think that was very well located. Sometimes it doesn't need to be at 98, but belt high and out over the plate, he made him pay. Terry Collins got to be scratching his head over there about how do we get this guy out.
Blair bunts foul, strike 1. Mets enter play tonight. 80 wins, 69 losses. They are 8 games behind the Nationals, but they are the #1 wild card club.
And no one wants to be the wild card except those 2 teams who know that that's the only way they get in the tournament. And if you're going to be one of those teams, you want to be the team that plays at home for that 1 game.
And as it stands now, realistically, there are 3 teams fighting for those 2 spots.
Yeah.
The Giants, the Mets, and the Cardinals. Cardinals had a couple of must-wins against San Francisco. They took care of business, but now their road trip gets a little tougher because they have to go to Colorado and play, and that can really shred your pitching staff.
And then they got to go play the Cubs.
Right. And the Giants are in LA to play the Dodgers. Blair bunts that one foul and is struck out. He can't advance Swanson. So 1 on, 1 out. Any guesses as to who's pitching the Dodgers-Giants series opener tonight?
Oh, yeah. And you know what? And it's Bumgarner against Kershaw.
Right.
But the Dodgers have beaten Bumgarner 3 times this year already. I don't know how long the Dodgers expect Kershaw to be able to pitch tonight, but what a start to that series.
I mean, that's an interesting number. The games left against winning teams. On paper, the Mets have the easiest way home. No games against winning clubs.
At the Braves, the Phillies, and
Miami. They finish on the road. The Mets go to Miami and end in Philadelphia against the Phillies. Ender Inciarte, an RBI hit last time up. He's 1 for 2. And slashed out of play. The other part of it for the Mets, the Giants not only have this series against the Mets, but they play the final against the Dodgers. The final 3 games of the year are against the Dodgers, but on the Giants' home field.
Those will be huge for San Francisco, especially.
Gets in at the knees.
That location.
Dansby's got a nice lead at first, and he's chased back.
That's something Syndergaard knows that he has to work on, is doing a better job of holding runners. But I was told at this point he doesn't really care because he hasn't had to work that much at it.
Yeah, he can just strike out. He entered play with the 5th most strikeouts at 205.
Maddox was the same way. Maddox's job, he said, was to keep him from getting to first.
Yeah, tough to steal first too. So
look at that. Almost 20 more than the next highest number of stolen bases against.
Runner goes. Pitch high. Rivera dropped it. There's a break. Dansby spun his wheels as he made his break towards second base. And he slides in with his second steal, and he makes it without a throw, and the Braves have another man in scoring position.
Love it. Being aggressive.
I'm not a big fan of pitch counts for pitch count's sakes, but when you look at the number of pitches and the stressful pitches that Syndergaard has thrown tonight, that 85 is a very big number. He has been out of the stretch almost all night since the second inning.
Yeah, the first 4 batters he retired. And then 7 straight batters out of the stretch. A home run in the 3rd inning, a single with 1 out in the 3rd inning, so he was in the stretch the rest of the 3rd.
And the Mets pen's going to get busy again. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Nice job there. High 98 heat. Got a piece.
And you know that's got to frustrate a strikeout pitcher. He's gotten to 2 strikes a lot, but he can't finish them off.
Especially up there. You know, and he can't get the wipeout pitch at 98 at the top of the zone. Really frustrating.
That's downstairs. That's ball 3, Ender. And it seems to me too, Joe, that the Braves are just conceding that slider. There have not been many swings at that pitch since the first inning.
And you know what? That comes from communication in the dugout. And it comes from the hitting coaches saying, you know, he's not getting that breaking ball over, guys. Somebody comes back to the dugout from the plate and says, breaking ball is out of the zone. Sit on that fastball. They're not charting pitches necessarily, but they are watching each at bat to see what is effective and what isn't.
Now it's 3-2. And that one is off the plate. Ball 4. Syndergaard issues his 3rd walk. And the natives in New York are getting antsy. So is Terry Collins. He wants to get his man through 5 somehow, some way, but that may not be possible. Gil Martin is up for a 3rd time in the New York pen.
2 starts ago, he walked 4 in 5 innings at Cincinnati when he threw shutout baseball. Pitched around 6 hits and 4 walks, believe it or not, in 5 innings by striking out 7. But you've got to go all the way back, other than that, to July 26th against St. Louis to find a start where he walked 3. He's had Adonis fishing tonight.
coming off a 3 RBI day yesterday. And Garcia's got a hit in 16 of 18 games. No place to get an out for Noah Syndergaard in this lineup tonight.
Laid off that same pitch that time. His last start, he went 7 innings and threw 99 pitches. He's at 91 already in the 4th inning tonight. Great work by the Braves offense.
Poked into right. Conforto is going to catch that. And there's the second out. And here's Freddie Freeman. 23-game hitting streak. He's reached base in 39 straight games. That latter number includes 27 extra base hits, 38 runs batted in. And next highest on that consecutive games reached list is Chipper Jones, who reached in 41 straight games in 2008. And with the kind of start that Freddie Freeman had to his season, if you had said he'd be able to do something like that, you'd say, well, it's possible, but I don't see how.
Tough to overcome. Tough to climb out of that kind of hole. How about those two guys?
Swing and a drive down the right field line, but it is pulled just foul. That nearly crept over the fence right at the foul pole.
Not a lot of foul territory down there.
So Syndergaard hit 0-2. One more pitches for Syndergaard in this inning. Poke toward left. Long run Cespedes. He's not going to get it. That's in the corner. 1 run scores. Here comes Ender around third. They're going to wave him. There will be no throw. Freddie Freeman with an opposite field double plates 2 more with 2 outs. And the Braves enjoy a 5-0 lead.
Figure that's got to be it for Syndergaard. We'll see, but what a good at bat here. Look at that breaking ball, ankle high, and just a flip of the wrist. Double, 2 RBIs, nothing to it. But anything middle away to Freddie, I don't care where it is, up, down, sideways. If it's middle away, he's got a chance.
So 5 runs on 7 hits. We're only in the 4th inning. And Matt Kemp will try to get in on the fun. Rivera handles a short hop. 1 ball, no strikes.
Perfect guys on base for him too, and Swanson and Inciarte, especially with Inciarte at first, able to come all the way around and score, even though Cespedes has that great arm and left.
Matt Kemp has 8 homers, 30 RBIs since putting on a Braves uniform.
Pick up Freddie here. He'll have 100 ribbies for the year.
Ground ball. That's deep in the hole at short. Cabrera can't do anything with that. It's an infield hit. And that is going to be the end of the line. Terry Collins is going to come on and get Noah Syndergaard. The Braves chase him in the 4th inning as they pick up their 8th hit for the 19th consecutive game. This one an infield single off the bat of Matt Kemp. Noah Syndergaard was brilliant in the first, but the Braves really made him work overtime, and he is an early exit. 5-0 here in the 4th. Here's your chance to help us pick the team that should represent 20 great years of baseball at Turner Field. Voting for the Toyota All-Turner Field team is now open. Tell us who you think should man each of the infield and outfield spots with a full 5-man All-Turner Field pitching rotation thrown in for your pleasure as well. Go to Braves.com/Turner Field team now through September 26th and cast your vote.
Former Brave farmhand Sean Gilmartin, former first-round pick by the Braves out of Florida State. 11 games this year, no record, but a high ERA that actually cost him a trip back to Las Vegas. He's been pretty decent for them since he came back.
Right back to the pitcher. It's ricocheted off his body, and James Loney in foul ground picks it up and takes care of Nick Markakis. That ball was headed for center field, and the Braves can't believe that that didn't turn into another run-scoring hit. Braves add 2 more and lead 5-0 early.
Nothing Braves. Aaron Blair throwing a gem, and whether or not you're in first place or you're rebuilding, there's moments in September, especially after the call-ups, where you have a little fun. So here goes the Braves hazing. Yeah, They went with the straight women's dresses. Ryan Weber saying, you know, I'm not a redhead. He complained to me earlier. And Terrell Jenkins said, I'm really thankful to be called back up, but I didn't know I was going to be forced to dress like a woman. And when questioned, Malik Smith said, yes, I was having way too much fun. Back to you guys.
That's pretty good. A league of their own.
Yeah, they certainly were. They certainly were. The really cool part of those outfits were the numbers. A lot of guys had their uniform number on the back. Mauricio Cabrera had a great set of numerals. His uniform jersey said 103 for obvious reasons.
Yeah, Jim Johnson, the primary supplier of those uniforms. He did a great job.
Speaking of great jobs, how about Aaron Blair tonight? Got some runs to work with. This newly minted mechanical change to the windup. And he's already outpitched Noah Syndergaard, facing the Mets for the 4th time this season. As this one's hit right at Markakis, who makes the play for the first out. And Blair's now retired 9 consecutive Mets hitters. And by the way, hasn't allowed a hit.
One thing for sure this does for Aaron on this windup is it allows him to maintain eye contact with his target. He's zeroed in on it.
I wonder if this is going to be a trend that we'll see more and more with young pitchers coming up in Major League Baseball. This saves it. Non-windup windup, but just that simple little step and go that we've seen John Gray use so well. In fact, he struck out 15 guys and had no walks in his last start.
Yes,
a couple of the Phillies have used it.
And Syndergaard, although not effective tonight.
Cespedes pops it up. Markakis comes racing in, and he's got that. 10 up, 10 down for Blair. 2 away.
One of the things that I've been talking about tonight has been his command. Here's an 0-2 pitch to Rivera last inning. Fastball away. Tyler sets up down and away. Look at the location of this pitch. Down and away. All he could do was hit it off the end of the bat for an easy out. So that may not have been a strike, but it was, as you say, Chip, a competitive pitch where Rivera couldn't afford to take it. Those are the pitches that have been missing for Aaron Blair.
And when they've missed, they haven't missed by an inch. They've missed by 6 inches or a foot.
Which puts him in the hole count-wise, where then he's got to pitch to the center of the plate.
Maybe the first sign that Aaron had excellent command was his sequence with Cespedes in the first inning. Remember, Flowers called for that high fastball, and Cespedes swung right through it. There's a line drive, and that is the first Mets hit. So Curtis Granderson with 2 out singles in the 4th inning. And that snaps an impressive streak of 10 straight Mets hitters retired.
Down and away. Might have had a little too much of the plate on that one, but it was headed in the right direction, that sinker. Got to give Granderson a little credit.
Here's T.J. Rivera, the second baseman, who popped out to lead off the second. High fly ball belted toward left. Kemp on the run as far as he can go, and the Mets are on the board with a towering 2-run homer.
before T.J. Rivera ever got to second base. Tyler Flowers was almost to the mound. A mistake in. He turned on it and he launched it. But Tyler on the trot out to the mound to get in the ear of Aaron Blair to not let that bother him. Stay the course.
So the Mets extend their team record home run tally to 203 now. Their 20th homer in their last 13 games. And the crowd starts to get back into it. It's now a 3-run Braves lead. And good pitch by Blair. Off speed offering that Conforto didn't get.
What a debut for Rivera in the big leagues this month.
No surprise that the Mets runs came on a home run. Well over 50% of their total of runs comes directly as a result of a home run for Terry Collins' team. Rivera's 2-run shot came with 2 outs here in the 4th. And now it's 2-2. Remember, James Loney's next, and he's hit Blair hard.
3-2. What's he go to here? 2 outs. Time to put it in play. Fastball. Not the best of places, except that this guy's pretty much a pull hitter, and as you can see from the way the Braves have set up defensively on the infield. Got a shift on for him.
And he hits it right into that shift. Dansby Swanson makes the play. And Blair with a nice recovery after T.J. Rivera hits a long home run to left. Granderson scored ahead of that long shot by the rookie second baseman, and the Mets have some life. It's now a 5-2 game.
Presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Right stuff, low price, every day.
Beautiful night in New York, especially with the Braves in front of the Mets 5-2. With Joe Simpson and Paul Bird, Chip Carey with you. Off we go to the 5th, where Tyler Flowers will face Sean Gilmartin. And that's way up and away.
That exterior view of Citi Field so pretty, and was designed with the idea of looking a little bit like Ebbets Field in the exterior of the old Brooklyn ballpark.
It's safe to say there were plenty of dry eyes when Shea Stadium went bye-bye. It's upstairs. 2 balls and a strike.
I know there were a lot of us hoping to have the first swing of the sledgehammer.
Lined and into the seats. And then back out. They have kind of a fan plaza area out in right center field behind the Shea Bridge. That's the metallic structure above the home and visitors bullpens. Kind of a boardwalk feel out there. As this one's tapped back to the mound. Tyler broke his back. And Gilmartin got him. 2 comebackers for Gilmartin in his 2/3 of an inning. That one, though, a lot easier to handle than the first.
First one must have hit somewhere on his shoe, because he was able to trot off without any problem. Doesn't throw hard, high 80s, relies on movement. There's a change up and a breaking ball. There's the hook.
And another one. 0-2. Late swing and a miss. Peterson was fooled, and Gilmartin's retired. The first 3 Braves hitters. 2 outs in the 5th. And here's Dansby Swanson. He's 2 for 2, and 7 out of 11 against the Mets. Tomahawk high strike. The Mets, like most of the contending teams, have a full complement of relief pitchers. I would guess that this would be Gilmartin's last inning. He's due 3rd in the 5th inning with the Mets down 3 runs. Nobody's up and throwing yet. As that one's taken low. 2-1 the count. And the Mets bullpen has been almost as good as their starting staff.
Sure has.
Point of that is, if you can add on, add on. Because with the power in this New York lineup, a 3-run lead is comfortable, but not real comfortable.
Jordan Familia contributing to that saves factor.
Strike three. Gil Martin with an impressive inning and a third of relief. We'll see if he stays on. We'll find out next. 5-2 Atlanta, bottom fifth inning. A great stat online just a few minutes ago. What'd you say, 448 feet? That's a little short by Stanton Sanders. Did you know in the last 7 years he has hit 24 homers of 460 feet or more?
Not surprised.
The next two closest men are Juan Encarnacion and Justin Upton, who have combined to hit 12 homers of that distance. So we'll keep an eye on the Nationals and the Marlins, as we'll keep an eye on Aaron Blair, who's got the bottom third of the order for New York. Loney, Rivera, and then Gil Martin's spot.
Yeah, normally you wouldn't think that this would be a key inning with the bottom third up there, but it is. And because of the work you've said Loney has turned in against Aaron, but after giving up the 2 runs last inning on the home run, to get back on track, as I said, get Loney out, but then get your 5 innings in, be the pitcher of record, and then move on from there.
That's rolled foul. 2 balls and a strike for James Loney. Swing and a fly ball hammered center. Inciarte on a flat out sprint. Won't get it. It's off the base of the wall. Nice play with a bare hand to hold Loney to a stand up double. So Loney knows something about Blair that most of his teammates don't. He's now 5 for 6 against Aaron, and he leads off with a ringing double to straightaway center.
Well, it's a good thing it was in center field at this ballpark. Tyler wanted that changeup down. It wasn't. It was knee high, and thankfully at 408 feet, it's just a double.
So Rene Rivera grounded out to second, his first time up. And took a breaking ball for a strike. Rivera's got 24 RBIs. He's playing in his 51st game this year for the Mets. And it looked like one of those I'm going to swing no matter what he throws up there swings.
No question. It already started.
Tim Tuffle, the man in harm's way, is the Mets third base coach. He's right between the plate and third base.
Oh, thank you.
Strike three looking. Rivera can't advance Loney. And now former Brave Kelly Johnson's going to stand in and pinch hit for Gil Martin.
Breaking ball, slow, curveball, breaking ball, and put it in a good spot.
Nice job by Sean Gil Martin, an inning and a third of perfect 2 strikeout relief. Braves ought to know all about Kelly Johnson. He put a hurting on the Braves back in Atlanta. And a big pinch hit double against the Braves September 9th.
Yeah, he had a good series.
That was the 7th time that Kelly Johnson had a game-tying or go-ahead RBI in the 8th inning or later in a Mets uniform. So he has been clutch late. He's going to try to be clutch here in the middle innings tonight. Aaron's got to get through this 5th with the lead to have a chance for his first big league win. He leads at 5-2. Danger, danger, Will Robinson.
Well, throw him a strike. You don't want the tying run coming to the plate. Throw him a strike, throw him outer third. If he wants to pull it, make him go out and get it.
Full count.
Like a slider.
Now it's a 3-2 pitch.
And that one had a little too much of the plate.
Swanson bird dogging Loney behind the bag at second base. And a swing and a miss. Kelly Johnson didn't get it. Something off speed. And there's a big second out. Back-to-back strikeouts after Loney whiffed. And this is an area where the Mets have had trouble, Joe. Runners in scoring position again.
Yeah, after the Loney double, a strikeout looking, and then a curveball at 80 miles an hour at the bottom of the zone. Great comeback.
Mets as a team hitting .214 this year with runners in scoring position. However, most of their players are in scoring position in the batter's box. Here's Reyes. He swings the first pitch and pops it up. Jace Peterson drifts out. He's underneath it, and Blair pitches around a leadoff double, and he's in line for a win. 5-2 Atlanta. Aaron leads off the sixth.
To Aaron Blair pitching very, very well. And guys, I got to say this, what I am most impressed about is the 2 strikeouts that last inning, especially the one to Kelly Johnson where the bottom fell out. We already know that he's got a very good changeup. That is the toughest pitch to learn in the big leagues. His fastball is up a tick, a mile an hour or 2. Yeah, this is a good start for Aaron Blair, and I don't want to jinx anything. We don't know what's going to happen, but if he does end up getting his first major league win and he is superstitious, he may have to wear a woman's dress before his next start. Back to you guys.
Well, that whatever it takes, you know, Paul.
You got to take.
Josh Edgens, the third Mets pitcher in the game. Noah Syndergaard gave up 5 earned runs in 3 2/3 innings. Gil Martin nothing over an inning and a third. And Edgen on for the 11th time. And Aaron Blair will continue on 9-1-2 on the lineup card as we've reached inning number 6 in game number 1 with the Mets.
Hey, Paulie, I got a question for you.
I'm ready.
It has to do with Aaron.
He puts it in play again. Easy flip to the pitcher, covering one out.
I've been talking quite a bit tonight about this change in his delivery. What are your assessments on that?
You know, my first thought is I really like the twist. I like it for a couple of reasons. Primarily deception. It's harder to pick the ball up. You can usually get a little bit more on the ball. But he wasn't fooling anybody with his fastball. And so I like this better. It's unusual because normally when you twist a little bit, you get more leverage so you can throw the ball harder. He's actually throwing the ball harder tonight, just lifting his leg. And so it's resulted in more velocity, which is unusual, and better location. So far, I really, really like it. Again, I think the key to him will be how quickly his slider develops as to what kind of pitcher he's going to be for the Braves.
Do you agree that, and you said better location?
Up the middle. Nice play, Cabrera, and he whips it to first. A gorgeous play to get Inciarte.
Boy, where did he throw that from?
Wow.
And accurate, too. What a good job. Paul, do you agree that it will lend itself, though, to more consistency for Aaron Blair with his arm angle, with his arm slot?
Yes, I do. And I think that's going to be crucial for him because, you know, with all respect to Aaron Blair, I don't see incredible cut fastballs or sinking fastballs, and I don't see 95 plus. Therefore, he is going to have to hit the spot every time. And I don't mean every time, but 8 times out of 10. And so that's going to be very important to him, and I think that's why that change in that delivery is so crucial. That was a great catch by you.
Well, it was something Roger McDowell talked to me about that they were going to work on. So I was just looking for it tonight, and I've been very impressed with the results too. An obvious improvement in command tonight.
2 quick strikes for Adonis Garcia. 2 outs. And Edgin just missed.
Edgin's battled some arm problems the last couple of years, particularly elbow problems. So the Mets are happy to have him back.
Swing and a miss. He got ahead 0-2, ran it full, and then a sweeping slider takes care of Adonis Garcia. Middle of the order coming up for Blair in the bottom of the 6th. Full of big innings in a row now. You mentioned the all-important 5th. He got out of that with no trouble. Here in the 6th, Cabrera, Cespedes, and Granderson are coming up. All 3 of these men have home run power. These 3 men, however, have combined to go 1 for 5, a hit, a run, and a walk against Aaron their first 2 times up combined. A shot to second, a line drive handled by Peterson, and there's the first out.
Second time Cabrera's hit the ball hard, but right at somebody. Good pitch count conservation by Blair too. You know, he hasn't had any long innings, even in the home run inning. He was able to retire Conforto right after the homer. So good efficiency, and only at 77.
Getting through a major league lineup 3 times, Brian Snitker has said, is an evolutionary step for all of these young Braves starters. Blair has a chance to do that tonight. He's gotten Cespedes twice. He struck him out in the first and popped him up to right in the fourth. That's hit toward Garcia. A couple of steps to his left and a strong throw. Yoenis is down. 2 outs. Here's Granderson. He picked up the first Mets hit in the 4th inning, a single to left center. And then he came home on T.J. Rivera's 2-run homer with 2 outs. Granderson with 28 homers and 51 RBIs. Not the normal RBI total you'd see for a cleanup man with 28 homers, but remember, he hasn't always been their cleanup man. He led off most of the season for New York.
They've got a couple of numbers like that. I mean, look at Cabrera's 20 homers, 49 RBIs. They're not as eye-popping in a weird way as Granderson's 28 and 51.
That's hammered toward the gap in left center field. That's going to get down. Inciarte cut it off, and Granderson wisely slams on the brakes, and what a throw. Man, did Ender cover a lot of ground to cut that ball off. And the Mets have a 2-out single here in the 6th.
Granderson beating the ship for the 2nd time. Heck of a play by Ender. But here we are again, 2-out hit by Granderson, and now here's Rivera.
And here's Roger McDowell as well. Cardinals trail in Colorado 1-0. That game's in the 2nd. Marlins have tied Washington 3-3 in the 6th.
Big series in the American League out in Seattle beginning tonight too. Toronto at the Mariners.
Estrada and Taijuan Walker will be the hitters, or the pitchers I should say, in that game. T.J. Rivera was the big hitter for the Mets last time up.
Punches no stride. Foot down and went up and got that pitch. It was a little up and in. Very impressive. Out of the Bronx, and again undrafted.
The Mets are not much of a running team. Anderson's got 3 stolen bases. They only have 37 of them as a team. The point of that is Tyler Flowers has not had much success throwing out would-be base stealers. Again, the Mets don't manufacture many runs. They hit a lot of homers to score the bulk of their runs this year, and that's ball 2.
Get one more hitter. Make a good pitch here on Rivera. Get one more hitter. Turn it over the bullpen.
Ground ball to Dansby. He's got it. The flip to second is in time, and Aaron Blair got another ground out. And the Mets are out of luck in the 6th inning. We head to the 7th inning. It's been a big night for Aaron Blair and for Freddie Freeman. He's homered. He's doubled. He's knocked in 3 of the 5 Atlanta runs, and he'll lead off inning number 7 next. Time for the top of the 7th inning. Freddie Freeman, Matt Kemp, and Nick Markakis are coming up.
Extra base hits. Freddie Freeman now in the lead in the National League with his home run tonight. And double.
"31 homers, 41 doubles, 83 RBIs.
He had a triple binge working there earlier in the year too. Doesn't he have 5, 6? Wow.
Well, you know, you become a new father, you get a little tired, you don't think about taking that extra base. No balls, 2 strikes. Broken bat. And Reyes at third. Off balance throw, and Freeman legs out an infield hit. So Freddie needs a triple for the cycle.
Well, that was a beauty there. Got a little shift on for him. Breaks his bat. Doesn't even hit it to the outfield grass on the fly. Look at him stride it out there. There's that triple speed. Oh, hitters are great to watch when they can smell a hit, no matter how it's hit.
Freddie's had 12 3-hit games. He's had 3 4-hit games this year. 41 multi-hit games. And he leads off the 7th with the 9th Atlanta hit. And with a 3-hit night, Freddie's now batting .301.
And it was a rocket. .301. That's outstanding.
Now he's running. And Kemp pops it out of play.
By the way, he's 4 for 4 in stolen bases too.
Well, you mentioned earlier about Matt Kemp and his arrival, deepening the lineup, legitimizing the lineup, whatever term you want to use. Braves are averaging about 5 runs a game since he's put on an Atlanta uniform. They've got 5 runs so far tonight. Matt extended his hitting streak to 11 games with an infield hit of his own last time up.
I love this streak of 19 straight games with 8 or more hits. I think that tells a big story about the Braves offense. And Noah Syndergaard's not the only ace in that group that they've run across and hung 8 or more hits on. Max Scherzer comes to mind right away.
Kemp didn't get it. He's down on strikes. That's the second for Edgin. 1 on, 1 out for Nick Markakis.
We believe the night might be over for Aaron Blair. He was getting handshakes from Roger McDowell and Brian Snitker. Pats on the back. There's some activity in the Atlanta bullpen, but I can't tell who it is from here. Might be Jose Ramirez.
And Freddie Freeman's big day at the plate is going to have a lot of the headlines. I still think his first at bat against Syndergaard kind of set the table for Noah's implosion tonight.
Nick's at bat.
Yeah. Yep. Popped up. Granderson in shallow center is going to make the catch. It was an 8-pitch at bat for Markakis in the second. It was an infield hit. And then in the 3rd inning, he had a 9-pitch at bat that earned him a single. Syndergaard piled up big pitch counts in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th innings. and was chased after 3 2/3, allowing 5 runs and 8 hits. So Markakis 2 for 4 tonight. That brings up Tyler Flowers, who walked and scored in the Atlanta second.
Cabrera instead of Ramirez.
Ripped into center field, a base hit. Freeman cuts the bag at second. He's on his way to third. The throw will come into second, and Atlanta has him at the corners with 2 outs. Tyler Flowers hit that ball hard, and he's got a 6-game hitting streak.
You know, sometimes we gloss over Tyler a little bit. You know, we talk about the top 5 guys in the order doing so much damage, and Tyler's hitting .272 coming into the game tonight with 7 homers, and he's hit in 6 straight now.
Big difference in this game, hitting with runners in scoring position. Obviously, the Braves have had more chances than the Mets to do that, but they've made the most of those chances. Atlanta's 4 for 8 tonight.
Gil Martin made Jace look bad with some breaking balls. I would expect Edgin to throw him a couple here early in the count. Like that one.
Tried it again, but missed low. And Joe, it seems to me the Braves hitters have had an excellent game plan at the plate against the Mets. They have really laid off the Syndergaard slider. Peterson's laid off a couple of those pitches here.
Well, one thing that made it easy to lay off his slider, Syndergaard's, is that he wasn't throwing it for a strike. He threw a couple of good ones to somebody. Can't remember who it was late in his outing. Might have been Dansby Swanson leading off the 4th. And then Dansby got a base hit.
Edgin lost Peterson. And so the Braves have the bases loaded. This action comes with 2 outs. And Terry Collins again pops out of the Mets dugout. A little insurance wouldn't hurt. 5-2 Atlanta. The Braves have them loaded. 2 outs in the 7th inning. As the Mets make another pitching change, let's join Greer Howard for another SunTrust Park walk in the park.
Not only will our city soon be host to the best ballpark in the country, it'll be connected to the Battery Atlanta, the South's preeminent lifestyle destination and the first complex of its kind in professional sports. At Turner Field, Braves fans often have a tough time finding things to do near the stadium before and after the game. At the Battery Atlanta, the options will be endless. You'll be able to dine at one of Atlanta's premier local restaurants, shop at one of over 40 retail spaces, or catch a show at the revived Roxy Theater, all in one visit. The Battery Atlanta will be so much more than a place to come grab a bite before the game. It will be a thriving neighborhood, complete with more than 550 modern residential options, the 16th-floor Omni Hotel, and over 400,000 square feet of office space, all within walking distance of SunTrust Park. For more info on everything happening with this amazing development, head to braves.com/SunTrustPark.
Very good stuff, Greer, and those artist renditions and the computerized version of Battery Atlanta I mean, that's the way it's taking shape to look right now. It's such a wonderful thing. And also that Roxy Theater, we got a peek inside of the construction of that. What a great venue that's going to be. 4,000 people that will seat for a concert or show of any kind. That's outstanding.
This is Hansel Robles on for the 64th time. He's got 6 wins in relief for New York. And he'll try to find a way to solve the mystery that is Dansby Swanson, who's at the plate with the bases loaded here. It's 5-2. Atlanta has the lead. The inning started with an infield hit for Freddie Freeman, a strikeout and a pop out later. Tyler Flowers with a single. Jace Peterson walked, and the Braves have them loaded once again. On 5 runs, 10 hits, the Braves trying to play the role of the spoiler in Game 1.
Robles has pitched against the Braves a lot. They've seen him 8 1/3 innings total, and he's only given up 1 run. Throws hard, mid to upper 90s fastball.
Mentioned this the last time we saw Robles in Atlanta. He's got reverse splits. He's held lefties to a 185 average. Right-handers are hitting 292 against him. We'll see how this matchup works out. Swanson took a big cut on his first opportunity. Let's see what he gets on an 0-1 count. Broken bat, little pop behind third. That's going to get down and score a pair of runs. Dansby Swanson has another 3-hit game against the Mets. He's driven home 3 runs. And it's a 6-2 Atlanta lead for Aaron Blair.
Just a broken bat flare. Awesome. Swung over the top of a slider. They run the 98 gas in on him, and he fights it off. You got to be able not to handle that pitch, but you got to let them know you're going to swing at it, be able to do something with it. It might have been kind of ugly, but it counts, just like Freddie Freeman's did to get this all started.
So Blake Lolly's the hitter. He'll bat for Aaron Blair, who went 6 innings, allowing 2 runs, and he's in line for the win.
Play.
I think it's safe to say the Mets, in a smaller sample size, feel about Dansby Swanson the way the Braves feel about Trey Turner of the Nationals. They've tried everything to get Dansby out, and it hasn't worked. Dansby now 8 for 13 against the Mets. And this one's rolled foul. It's 0-2.
Robles actually made a good pitch in on him, on Dansby. That wasn't a bad pitch either, and close to a strike, but he wasn't going to get the call because he missed his location from one side of the plate to the other, and the way Rivera had to catch it. Lucky to spear it.
Fly ball well hit towards center. Granderson retreats, still going. He's going to get there a step shy of the track. And that retires the side. Another 3-hit night for Dansby Swanson. He's knocked in 3 runs. 7th inning stretch. Atlanta leads at 7-2.
your local Toyota dealers. Let's go places. The Georgia Lottery. And Zaxby's Indescribably Good.
There's nothing better if you're not going to make the playoffs than to play the role of the spoiler. The Braves are doing that to perfection tonight, winning Game 1 7-2 to this point. 6 strong innings for Aaron Blair. He's in line to win it if the Braves bullpen can get him 9 more outs.
Mauricio Cabrera has had 5 days rest. I think he needed it. His velocity had taken a hit from some extra work. And the only time he faced the Mets this year was in a save situation. He suffered a blown save. He walked 3 guys, gave up 4 runs. 3 were earned. So he needs a little payback right here, and he should be fresh.
That was far and away his worst outing.
Yes.
So we'll hope for better luck and better results for Cabrera tonight. He's got Conforto, Loney, and Rivera coming up. Conforto is 0 for 2. Swing and a shot down the right field line, headed for the seats. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Edgin 2 hits, 2 runs in an inning and 2/3 for the Mets. But it was Noah Syndergaard that got beat up starting in the 2nd inning. Braves got him for 2 in that frame. Freeman a 3rd inning homer, 2 more in the 4th, and that was all she wrote for Noah. Little blooper down the 3rd base line. Kemp coming on, and he's going to get there. A last-second dive, and Matt Kemp slid about 15 feet on the wet grass, and he made the play for the first out.
I did not think he would get to that one because of the left-handed batter and the ball spinning away from him. What a good play. Get away.
James Loney has one of the 4 Mets hits. It was a leadoff 5th inning double. That was a key point in the game. We know how well Loney hits Aaron Blair. The Mets had Rivera, the pitcher spot coming up. Rivera struck out. Kelly Johnson struck out. Reyes popped out. And New York down 3 runs at that point. Could not add a 3rd run. And momentum stayed in the Braves dugout with Aaron Blair. A shot to right. Long run Markakis. He won't get there. And James Loney with a 2-strike 1-out hit is aboard here in the 7th.
Not sure what that pitch was. Something off speed. A breaking ball. Didn't get it buried in that back foot if that's what he was trying to do.
So Alejandro De Aza is going to pinch hit for Rivera here. You might recall in Atlanta he came on late in a pinch hitting assignment, and we talked about it at the time. Small strike zone might give the Braves some trouble. I think it did give Cabrera trouble, and that helped lead to that big inning that the Mets had against him. So the Mets hoping lightning strikes twice here with the pitcher spot due after De Aza. 1. Brandon Nimmo's grabbed at that. He's on deck. Barring a double play, he would hit for Robles. Fly ball left. Kemp on the run. Dives for this one. And he caught that one. Two terrific catches by Matt Kemp.
We're talking Gold Glove stuff here. A catch and a roll. Away. Man, oh man. That has really saved Cabrera this inning. Both catches. Nice play.
So Loney's still at first. Now there are 2 outs. And Brandon Nimmo is the hitter. Nimmo is the highest drafted player ever from the state of Wyoming. Mets took him 13th overall in 2011. It was such an interesting pick in this regard. Nimmo did not play high school baseball. That is a sport that is not offered in the state of Wyoming. The Mets saw him. They scouted him playing American Legion ball. And then really opened eyes when he won the MVP award at the 2010 Under Armour All-American game at Wrigley Field. So he showed he could play with more experienced competition.
And was named the outstanding player in the minor league system for the Mets before tonight's game.
High pop. Peterson out. Markakis in. And that takes care of the Mets. In the 7th inning, it's getting late in New York. Matt Kemp, 2 terrific catches. His outfield mate Ender Inciarte will lead off for Atlanta when we come right back. Game live in HD on more than 400 supported devices and enjoy a free subscription to At Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv. Two terrific catches by Matt Kemp in the bottom of the 7th inning. He's due 4th here in the Atlanta 8th, and the Braves will see yet another Mets pitcher. It's their 5th of the game. It's Logan Verrett. Kevin Plawecki joins him in the lineup. He's behind the plate.
33 games for Verrett, some of those as a starter. Overall numbers for the year there, a lot of walks in 88 innings. High batting average against, sinker slider guy. Top of the order for Atlanta.
Ender has singled, walked, scored, and he's knocked in a run.
His average up to 294 thanks to that good work there.
– 7-2 Braves lead it. And by the way, if Atlanta wins tonight, it'll be the 50th big league win for Brian Snitker. Took over May 17th. 1 ball, no strikes. Foul away. '89 hits for Inciarte since the All-Star break. Terry Pendleton had 106 of them in 1991. After the All-Star break in that magical year for the Braves. So Ender's got a shot at catching TP. And the way he's swinging the bat wouldn't put it past him.
When you're hot, you are hot.
As we said during our opening comments, something had to give tonight. The Braves offense since August 20th, best batting average. Since August 20th, Mets best ERA. Tonight, usually good pitching did not retire good hitting. 7 runs on 11 hits. And strike 3 for Inciarte. He's retired by Verrett, 1 away. Braves will take a 19 consecutive game run of 8 or more hits into play tomorrow night. And Julio Teheran will get the ball in game 2. Nice crowd tonight, 29,665. And they've been quiet for most of the night. In fact, many of them have headed for the 7 train.
Adonis would like to join the fun tonight. He's had an 0 for 4 caller with a couple of strikeouts. And he's been swinging well too. He's had trouble laying off that pitch. That off-speed pitch, whether it's a changeup or a breaking ball that's down and out in front of the plate, can't lay off tonight. Had good luck against the Mets this year too. 291 average, 2 homers at the start of play.
Bottom hand came off the bat with that swing. And the ball gets stuck in the net, ready to go through the net.
It's stuck. Yeah, he's able to wedge it through there.
That foul ball snagged by Vinny from Hoboken.
Was it?
Looked like Vinny from Hoboken.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. tell by the T-shirt. 1-2 pitch. Strike 3. Inside corner at the knees. Pitcher's pitch. Logan Verrett has struck out the first 2 Braves he's seen. But now he's got to deal with Freddie Freeman, who's a triple away from a cycle. You know you're a hot hitter when you look at your press notes and they need parts of 2 columns to tell you about all the good things you're doing at the plate. And that's what's going on with Freddie Freeman. I mean, there's about 7 bullet points of good offensive work, including the cycle he hit on June 15th against the Reds. Got some work to do here with a 1-2 count. And a shot foul. Right side, still 1-2.
Have you checked out how many pages he's got in the media guide?
Yeah, there'll be a few more after this season, that's for sure.
Tells a good story.
Ripped toward right. I mean, he centered that ball up and it fooled Michael Conforto. So Freddie Freeman has a 4-hit game tonight. A topspin bullet to right field.
I promise you that Michael Conforto wanted no part of this when he realized that this was going to duck hook right in front of him. Look at that. He was very lucky to flag that down once he was trying to throw on the brakes.
And if he doesn't, Freddie Freeman might have been standing at third base with the triple he needed for the cycle. So another chance for Matt Kemp to hit with Freeman aboard. Didn't get it. Strike 1. Julio Teheran and Robert Gesellman here tomorrow night. Braves live at 6:30. First pitch at 7:10. Gesellman, Seth Lugo, and Bartolo Colon have done remarkable work keeping the Mets in this playoff race. And Gesellman was very impressive against the Braves back in Atlanta.
Braves have not announced their pitcher for Wednesday, have they?
They have not. And I say this without sarcasm, but I say it in fact. There are plenty of options. Braves have used 16 different starters this year.
Weber with another good long relief outing the other day.
Maybe he'll get consideration here on Wednesday night. Kemp a line drive into right center field. That'll get down for a hit. Freeman on his way to third base. Matt Kemp has a 2-hit game, and the Braves continue to add on. 7 runs on 13 hits tonight. 8 hits combined. Freeman, Kemp, and Markakis. Exactly what you want to see out of your 3, 4, and 5 hitters.
That's the truth. And all 3 extending hitting streaks.
Freeman's at 23. Kemp is at 11. Nick Markakis is at 11. Pending play tomorrow. Flowers also extended his to 6 games. And he waits on deck. Ripped to right. Conforto on the run is going to get there. That ball was hard hit. And after Verrett got off to a good start, he gave up 3 hard hit balls in a row, but no more runs.
Bottom of the 8th. It was announced today by Brian Snitker that Ryan Weber will start on Thursday for the Braves, primarily because he's been doing such a good job out of the bullpen. We'll see what he's been able to do. And when I asked Brian Snitker what is the one thing you're looking for out of these young starters, he said fastball command. So tonight, Aaron Blair certainly showing that. We'll see if Ryan Weber can follow it up on Wednesday. Guys, back to you.
Well, you're right, Paul, because when Ryan's hitting his spots, man, he just seems to blow through lineups and through innings quickly because he gets guys to put the ball in play.
He had a stretch against the Nationals. He struck out 5 straight batters for the Braves. And as you see, Jose Ramirez, the 3rd Atlanta pitcher of the night. He's got the top of the order for New York. Reyes, Cabrera, and Cespedes. To the point that Paul made about fastball command from a young starter. Aaron Blair walked only 1 man in 6 innings.
Yeah, that was crucial. Ramirez was in 2 games against the Nationals at home, an inning and a 3rd total, 4 strikeouts. So all 4 outs.
Three balls and a strike. Don't want to walk Reyes with a 5-run lead. Has been instrumental in this run of good play for the Mets. 23 runs in his last 25 games. And he's aboard with a leadoff walk. Mets are 21-11 when Reyes has played since coming from the DL in mid-August.
Got some phenomenal record too when he scores a run.
Find that for you.
Like 21-4, something like that.
Well, he's at first. For Asdrubal Cabrera, who's lined out twice and walked. He's hit the ball hard in those lineouts. And he hits this one hard and high in the air to right. Markakis slowing, backpedaling to the track. And just enough room to make the play. Cabrera's retired for the first out.
21-6. That's our when Reyes scores a run. It's the third hard hit ball by Cabrera tonight.
Rays have kept Cespedes in check tonight to this point. The Mets left fielders 0 for 3. This is his danger zone too. 3 of his last 6 homers have come in the 7th inning or later.
Say 3 of his last 6.
3 of his last 6.
That's what he did for them last year. It seemed like they were late inning home runs when he was doing all that damage for the Mets to help get them into the postseason, win the division.
He's knocked in 13 runs this month. 4 of them came on one swing of the bat against the Braves. Remember that grand slam in Atlanta?
Yeah, sometimes he'd hit one early and then late.
Yeah. Change his walk-up music to the Clash. Should he stay or should he go? He's a potential free agent. He's got an opt-out on his contract. One ball, 2 strikes. Like the Braves with Matt Kemp, Cespedes is a 30 home run man. Got drilled there. Full count. No drama here. There's some big bats after Cespedes on this lineup card. Braves do lead by 5. They need 5 more outs. Bounding ball foul to third. We'll do it again.
Challenged him with a 97 fastball. Need to do it again.
Off the end of the bat, skied toward left. And Matt Kemp will have plenty of room to make the play. And Cespedes skies out for the second out of the inning. It sounded like he got it off the end of the bat, and he still hit it about 345 feet.
Yeah, he didn't square it up. Got under it a little bit.
Curtis Granderson has 2 of the 5 Mets hits. And he scored 1 of their 2 runs. Cute foul, strike 1.
Curtis was about to take off for first. He thought that ball was going to spin back.
We've seen that a time or 2 in professional ball this summer, haven't we? Grounded. That's going to sneak through for a hit. Reyes will stop at second, and Curtis Granderson is 3 for 4 tonight. And Rivera's the batter. He's already hit a home run. He could hit one to Staten Island, and the Braves would still lead by 3 runs.
at 7-5, and they'd only be behind by 2. So that's extra credit there.
Popped up right behind the plate. And at the screen, Tyler Flowers makes the play. Instead, he hit it to Brooklyn, and that means no credit at all. 7-2 is your score. Off we go to the 9th inning. Toyota key play.
Well, the good thing is that Aaron Blair is very close to getting his first big league win, and he deserves it tonight. He pitched really well. He made a little change in mechanics, and it proved really fruitful for him because he didn't walk anybody. We walked one guy in the first inning. He didn't walk anybody after that. 4 strikeouts, 6 strong innings. Swanson, Freeman with huge nights. Clutch nights, too, for both of those guys. And the A-Rod lookalike there, T.J. Rivera. He looked like him a little bit.
I was thinking that when he was up the last time. Yeah.
He hit a 2-run homer to account for the Mets' only runs. And that was in the 4th inning.
This is Rafael Montero. He's on to pitch the 9th. His 6th game.
Got a little control trouble himself. 15 walks and 13 1/3. Good fastball, low to mid-90s. Good change up and a slider. And he throws it over. I think he's been starting.
He has been. I was just going to look that up. Three starts, 2 relief appearances, a total of 13 1/3 innings. So with 15 walks, 15 hits, he's averaging over 2 base runners an inning. And that is a tough Montero to overcome. He's 25 years old, out of the Dominican Republic. chest high. Line to right, and Conforto is there. Montero made his big league debut a couple of years ago, and he made it in, shall we say, difficult circumstances. His first major league game came May 14th that year in the Subway Series against the Yankees.
Wow.
He pitched 6 innings, gave up 3 earned runs, and became the 3rd Met to make his big league debut in the Subway Series, joining Jaime Cerda and Jacob deGrom. Last year, hampered by injury, he only pitched in 12 games, coming back from right rotator cuff inflammation. Sharply hit. Cabrera, another spectacular sliding stop. Boy, he's been magical with the leather in this game. Another gorgeous play. This one robs Jace Peterson.
This is not only a sign of good hands. Look how quick his feet are. Really gets to spin around and get set to make the throw. Jace hits it hard. Look how quick he got set.
So he's robbed Inciarte and Jace Peterson with nice plays at short. 2 outs. And here's one of the hitting stars for the Braves, Dansby Swanson, whose first 3-hit game in the big leagues came against the Mets. He's got another 3-hit night tonight with 3 RBIs to boot.
Brandon Kniff and Jim Johnson, not a safe situation.
I'm not sure, but I think Blue Oyster Cult, the band, is here.
Do you?
Because just as Montero gets his sign and comes set, I'm hearing more cowbell.
That could be the difference. He hadn't walked anybody. What do you call that thing on the piano? The metronome?
Yeah, the metronome?
Metronome?
Yeah.
So maybe somebody's trying to help him step back, wind up, arm back, throw.
I like it. Well, he's got the fever and the prescription for a strikeout.
He doesn't need any more cowbell.
It's got to be. Bottom of the 9th. It's 7-2. Atlanta's offense liberated once again in New York.
Atlanta Braves baseball is sponsored by Georgia Power and Xfinity. X1 from Xfinity will change the way you experience sports.
Braves country as we play the final games at Turner Field. We'll have on-field selfies with players, the biggest fireworks show in history, and something special for each game in the final homestand. Go to Braves.com/final countdown to get all of the exciting details you don't want to miss. The final homestand, the Phillies and the Tigers are on the docket next. Malik Smith takes over in left field. He will be placed on the lineup card in the 9th batting position, and Jim Johnson will come on and get some work in a 7-2 Atlanta game.
59th game. He's been outstanding. 2.97 ERA. Not a safe situation.
Out of play for Australia. If this score holds, the Marlins will edge a game closer to the Mets. They just beat the Nationals 4-3. Miami is not dead yet in the wild card picture. The Braves will have a hand as to whether or not Miami makes it. Marlins at the moment 75-75. They could pull to within 4 games of the wild card. But the Braves need 3 more outs. Upstairs. Giants and Dodgers underway in the top of the first inning. That one's Madison Bumgarner and Clayton Kershaw. Kershaw's first home start since June 20th. Cardinals leading the Rockies 5-2 in the 5th. Sharply hit and a base hit by Michael Conforto, and that's how the whole 9th starts. A leadoff single by the Mets right fielder. And here's Loney. Loney's got a couple of hits. The Mets team has 7 in the game.
Malik Smith in left field, returning to the scene of the crime. It was here on Father's Day that he got hit in the thumb by Antonio Bastardo that put a big dent in his season.
That was a shame too, because as you said at the time, he was just starting to really get it figured out.
Broken bone in the tip of his thumb.
One ball, one strike. There's a shot towards center. Ender can't get it. Misplayed it. It's behind him and rolling toward the warning track. Conforto will be waved around. He's going to score. It's a 7-3 game, and Loney ends up at second base.
Probably a hit and error, and the same thing happened to Ender that happened to Conforto on the hit by Freddie, except that Ender can't slap this one down. Double all the way?
Yep.
Okay.
So James Loney with a 3-hit, 1 RBI night, and Ty Kelly comes up. Kelly didn't get it. It's 0-2. Kelly's got a homer. He's knocked in 6 runs. He's with the big league club for the 4th time this year. look at all the numbers for these Mets call-ups from Vegas, and you wonder how the Las Vegas team ever lost a game. I know. This guy hit .328, 21 doubles, 45 runs, and played 81 games.
Hit .321. He was about 9th on his team in hitting.
Right. I think the Mets had the number 1, number 2, and number 3 hitters in batting average in the Pacific Coast League for Vegas last year.
I know they had first and second, and Rivera and Nimmo.
(7-3), 1 in, 1 on, nobody out. And Kelly's hanging tough. Strike 3, a perfect paint job and a 7-pitch at bat. Results in a strikeout for Jim Johnson, 1 away.
That helps. Good pitch. Two-seamer came back to the plate. Kelly gave up on it.
So here is Jay Bruce. Bruce has found the sledding in New York a lot tougher than it has been in Cincinnati. Bruce batting .181 in 38 games. He's got 25 hits since putting on a Mets uniform. Braves Live presented by Xfinity will be coming up next.
Bruce has a little quirk in his preparation to hit. He always looks like he's got either a mosquito flying by his ear or he gets a cramp in his left arm. It's this.
1-2 pitch. He laid off. You hitters are weird, man. Stuff like that.
I know. I don't. He does it every time.
He's trying to crowd him, but he's running full.
Don't lose him.
Because you got the top of the order coming up, and Cabrera, Cespedes, and Granderson are lurking. We'll see an 8th pitch. Popped him up into right. And Markakis will have all kinds of room to put it away for the second out. What's left of this 29,000 plus crowd is not saying boo like they did in Cincinnati. So Aaron Blair is 1 out away from his first big league win. And Jose Reyes is the next man up. Reyes walked last time up. He has struck out, lined out, and popped out. And he's going to shoot this one toward left. Malik Smith froze, but now comes in. He makes the play. And the Braves have played the role of the spoiler tonight, beating the Mets 7-3.
And congratulations to Aaron Blair with his first Major League win. It's been a long time coming, but I know it'll be sweet tonight in his 4th start against the Mets. He beats them to start this road trip in a good way.
What's the old saying? The 4th time is the charm.
Yeah.
It certainly was tonight. The Braves offense gave him plenty of early support, and Blair's 6 innings of excellent work earns the Braves a 7-3 win.